The month of the robotic invasion of Mars is upon us. 7 months ago, the United States, China, and the United Arab Emirates launched missions on a 300 million-mile (480 million-kilometer) journey to Mars. Last week, 2 of the 3 missions quietly arrived and inserted themselves into Mars orbit. The final spacecraft to arrive, NASA's Mars 2020 Perseverance mission, however, will not go gently into the Martian atmosphere. On Thursday, February 18, NASA's latest Mars mission destined to uncover evidence of ancient microbial life on the distant planet is set to touchdown following a spectacular display of extremely complex engineering. Launching to the Red Planet is a strategic maneuver that can only be completed once every 2 years. This is due to the varying speeds and the elliptical shape of the planet's orbits around the Sun. The point at which Earth and Mars are aligned close enough to minimize travel time, called an opposition, occurs only once every 2 years. The most recent opposition occurred in July 2020. 4 international Mars missions were intended to leave Earth that summer. However, due to required further certification of parachutes, the European Space Agency's ExoMars Rosalind Franklin rover would have to wait for its launch opportunity during the next planetary opposition to occur in 2022. That left 3 robotic invaders from the United States, the United Arab Emirates, and China to escape Earth's orbit and become interplanetary superstars. The last of the 3 Mars missions, NASA's Mars 2020 Perseverance mission launched on July 30, 2020, from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station aboard a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket. As far as Mars arrivals go, the best has certainly been saved for last. Following the success of the other 2 missions from China and the United Arab Emirates, the stage is set for Perseverance to make its dramatic entrance. NASA's Mars 2020 Perseverance mission is by far the most ambitious mission to launch to Mars, during the 2020 planetary transfer window. NASA is not attempting to land 1, but 2 spacecraft on the surface of Mars. The $2.4 billion Mars 2020 mission is comprised of the Perseverance rover, powered by the heat produced by radioactive decay of plutonium, and a first-of-its-kind rotary helicopter called Ingenuity. It is scheduled to arrive in dramatic fashion on Thursday, February 18. Rather than conducting a braking maneuver to slow down and enter Mars orbit, the Perseverance spacecraft will autonomously conduct the entry, descent, and landing (EDL) procedure. Essentially going from traveling several thousand miles an hour to descending slowly under a parachute canopy to softly land in mere minutes. The spacecraft, housed in a protective aeroshell with its robust heat shield facing the planet's surface, will burst into Mars' atmosphere traveling nearly 12,500 miles per hour, 20,000 kilometers per hour. Once through, Perseverance will ditch its heat shield and autonomously begin scanning the Martian terrain to determine its relative location and make adjustments to find an optimal landing spot. Then, a powered descent module will deploy, transporting the rover the rest of the way down, slowing to less than 2 miles per hour, 3 kilometers per hour. Finally, the descent module will hover and deploy a complex harness system lowering Perseverance, and its stowaway, the Ingenuity helicopter, to the Martian surface for touchdown. After 7 months of interplanetary travel, it all comes down to the final 7 minutes, the length of time the EDL process is expected to take. All spacecraft controllers back on Earth can do is watch and wait for that final telemetry reading indicating that Perseverance has successfully touched down. That is why this process has earned the nickname, 7 Minutes of Terror. Beginning around 11:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1915 Coordinated Universal Time, on Thursday, February 18, NASA will provide live coverage of Perseverance's landing attempt. The agency will carry the coverage on NASA TV and its website. In a rare surprise for Starlink launches, a SpaceX Falcon 9 booster has failed to successfully land after kicking off the first of 2 Starlink missions planned in a 25-hour period. Some 9 minutes after liftoff, Falcon 9 booster B1059 suffered an unknown failure that cut short its 6th landing attempt a second or 2 after landing burn. With no sign of a sustained burn, the booster most likely impacted the ocean at supersonic or high subsonic speeds, unfortunately ending a record streak of 24 consecutively successful Falcon landings. Thankfully, Falcon 9 B1059 had already supported 5 orbital-class launches since its December 2019 debut and, as always, booster recovery is always a secondary objective for SpaceX launches. The primary objective, deploying another batch of 60 Starlink satellites, is on its way to completion as Falcon 9's upper stage orbits the Earth in preparation for a second small burn and payload deployment around 65 minutes after liftoff.